Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is going to be a very quick live stream tonight. We are doing yes nos for free, but we're moving on to donations after that, and we won't be open for very long. I probably will be signing off or closing the list in about an hour. So yeah, Moni, I do not have super chat. I think there's certain qualifications that are required for super chat, which I do not reach, and if I do, I don't have it set up. I probably won't ever have super chat. It's just not my style. I probably will be moving on to more of a website based services where you can check out through Square. But that will be later on down the line. But as of right now, I have Linktree, Cash App, and Venmo options, and that's pretty much where I keep it. Just because this is an actual business for me, this isn't like a side hustle. I don't do super chat, so sorry about that inconvenience if that's how you normally donate. But my linked, it's like a link in the pinned comment. It should give you any information to have access to me that you should need. We are going to do free yes nos here in just a second. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to join before we get started. How come you're only allowed to ask one yes no per person? Why would you think that I would have that option? Do you think that it's fair for me to do additional yes no questions for free when I do this for a living? You'd have to pay for it. You can ask as many yes no questions as you'd like, but you would need to donate for that. Okay, let's get started. First up for Moni. Moni, I don't know if you're new here or not, but I have been doing this professionally for 5 years. The fact that I still offer free readings is like just because I like want to be accessible to everyone. But I am not one of the readers. At this point, I've done my time. Like, I started back in 2019. I've done a lot of free readings back then. I did like free, pretty much everything, unless someone wanted to donate. I worked my way up. If you're looking for free open-ended questions, if you're looking for multiple free questions, this is just not the channel for that. I've done my time. I did that many, many, many years ago. There's plenty of great new readers out there that you can find on YouTube that will be offering those free services, but that's just not where I am in my career. I am essentially donations based only. I do giveaways once a week. Usually those are on Sundays. As a thank you for the contributions and support to my channel, you can always check back in then and see if you can win. And then for the most part, I do free yes nos, one per person per live stream. That's just the extent of my accessibility in terms of my free options. I just personally don't feel like, I don't know how to say this nicely. It's just not, it's not for me. It's not something that I want to offer anymore. I've done my time. I've done it many, many, many years ago. So that's just kind of where we are at this point. Considering this is my full-time job, my full-time career, I'm at a point with my readings where it's pretty much donations based only. But I also want to be accessible to people who can't afford a reading. I don't want them to not have the option to get at least something from me for free. So that's why I offer that in general, because at this point, I probably wouldn't even be doing that. And that's not to sound like bad or like come across rude or anything like that. It's just that's how I feel. But there's a lot of really great readers out there that are just starting off, and they are offering free readings as they're trying to build up their channel. It's just I'm in a different place. All right, so this is for Moni. Moni, I have a yes for your question. It is the 9 of Wands. Princess. Princess, I'm getting a yes for you. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Ray is next after that. Ray, oh, I'm getting a no for you right now. 5 of Swords. Positive Bear. Positive Bear, yes. 10 of Cups. This is the marriage card. Angelus. Hey, IJ, welcome in. Angelus, I have a yes. Knight of Cups. You're welcome, Princess. Sienna. Sienna, I have a yes. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. That's really good energy. If you have a yes, no question and you have not asked it yet, please make sure you do so. The list will be closing very, very, very soon for free yes, no's. And then also donations are also going to close pretty soon. It's 11:11 where I am. Everybody make a wish. Thank you, dear. I'm really grateful. You're welcome, Positive. This is for IJ. You're welcome, Sienna. You're welcome, Angelus. You're welcome, Ray. IJ. I am getting a yes, IJ. I have the world here. Free list closing in about 3 minutes. IJ, you're first on my list. After that, we have... What is this donation? Someone just sent one. Hold on, I'm looking at it now. I think this is Sweeter. Is this Sweeter? Yeah, looks like it. All right, so we have IJ down for a BOGO and Sweeter for an in-depth, it looks like. Oh, it's okay. I'll figure, like, I'll remember. I remembered this time, so hopefully I can just keep on remembering. Hey, beautiful. Welcome in. Sweeter, I have a yes. 10 of Pentacles. Good energy. Last chance to ask yes, no question if you haven't already. The free list will be closing very, very soon. Thank you guys for liking the live stream. I appreciate it. This is for beautiful. Beautiful. I have a yes. The Star and the Queen of Pentacles. You're welcome. Oh, you're good. No worries. Okay, less than a minute left on the clock. IJ, if you want to get your questions ready to go, that works for me. You're welcome, beautiful. All right, guys. Oh, I didn't realize the thing starting soon was still on the screen. Wow. Okay. Oh my God, I love that for you. Ugh, IJ, that is amazing. IJ, that is literally so nice. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Especially because I was picking up how she's like in a very like contemplative state of mind and she's trying to figure out the best route forward, but she doesn't want you to ever feel like unappreciated or that she doesn't care about you. That's so in line with like what we were talking about. That is seriously so freaking sweet. Oh my God, I love that for you. Okay, so let's see, how does she feel after the conversation? How does she feel after the conversation? So I think that this is something that has been on her chest for a while and she's happy to get it off of her chest. I think like she's very conscious or conscientious, I guess, or whatever, or very aware, I suppose, of how she interacts with you and how she's coming across. And she tries to like make sure that she's being very clear with you. She doesn't ever like she basically when she walks away from a conversation with you, she usually always feels really good. But I also feel like she's, I suppose, more like worried about how she's coming across. She probably like what is the word? Like not reenacts, but you know, like when you play a memory over and over in your mind, it's likely that she kind of thinks about things quite a bit, and she might overthink those interactions. She just always wants to make sure that like you understand her intentions, you understand where her head is at. Replay, thank you. You understand, like that's what she does. And I think sometimes she can like second guess or second like question herself basically, because I think that you're just over here like, oh, this was such a good interaction, like I really like that, and she's over here going, oh my God, I hope that he understands like what I meant when I said this. I hope he didn't take it wrong. I hope he understands like how much I appreciate him. Did I make that point? Did that come across that way? Like, I think she's just, like I had mentioned previously, she just really, really is very aware of like wanting to make sure that your connection stays as pure as possible. She does not want anything to infiltrate, anything to cloud, anything to, she just like wants to keep you guys in your little bubble and she wants to make sure that every interaction is solid, every interaction is good. And I think that maybe the distance that has recently been created, maybe not hearing from her as much, she's starting to, I guess, worry that you're thinking differently or something. Not differently about her, but maybe wondering if she doesn't have care for you that she actually does, just because you guys have not been communicating as much. So I think for her, she walked away with clarity. She walked away feeling like a weight was lifted off of her chest a bit, because I think she's going back and forth. Should I tell him? Should I tell him? I'm just going to tell him. And I think that this was just really important for her. I think it's something that she ruminated on quite a bit, something that she thought about quite a bit, and just really felt like it's something that you needed to hear, that she wanted you to hear. I think she just always wants to make sure that you understand like where she's at, even if it's not being full transparency, even if it's not her coming through and like outright just telling you straight up what she's thinking or feeling. She always wants you to feel appreciated by her. And I think that this conversation just really made her feel good. You never take anything to heart. Yeah. Now, I feel like this feeling good for the both of you is going to be, it's going to tide you over, I would say, is a good way to word it. But it's never going to be enough. I feel like the good feelings is going to be kind of temporary. Oh my God. Hold on a second. I'm so sorry. What are you doing? Bodhi. Must you make this so complicated? What are you doing? Hey, hey, what are you doing? Wait, go. It's gone, Bodhi. It's gone. I don't know what you did with it. Come on. Sorry, I might have to like do that again. My cat has like this obsession with rubber bands, and long story short, he got a rubber band under the couch, and when he does it on purpose because he likes playing with it. But then he's scratching at my couch, so I think I'm just gonna have to put him in his room for a little bit. Come on. Okay, but what I was saying, I'm so sorry. What I was saying was that I feel like she walked away and this felt really, really good to her. I think she was like, oh my God, I did it. I, like I said what I like have been wanting to say, and like I feel really good about it. And this is definitely something she's thought about a couple of times today. As I had mentioned before, she likes to replay stuff in her head. But again, this is only going to be like this happiness that's temporary. Like you guys are going to live on this interaction and this energy for a little while before you're like craving to communicate with one another again. But she feels really good. Like overall, she feels like she gave something to you. I think hearing from her too, it's kind of balanced things a bit, because I think that she notices that you're usually the one to reach out to her, make a comment, or react to something in a way that then she could respond to. So you're always the one breaking the ice or like opening that door. And I think that she felt a bit more balance in your connection by being the one to initiate. So I'm really happy to hear that. I think that she felt like she was able to kind of just be really authentic in the moment, and really give to you. And I think she feels really good walking away from this. Again, I think this is going to be a short-lived happiness, because I think that it's only a matter of time before she's going to feel compelled to communicate with you again. But I think that she'll be able to, this will tie her over for a little while. She'll be able to ride on this energy for a bit, and feel like she was clear with you and how she was thinking and feeling. in terms of like telling you that your support never goes unnoticed is just basically her way of saying, I think about you, like even when we're not communicating. I remember what you say. I think about it. I think about you. I think about our conversations. Um, and I think she just really wants you to know that this is mutual. Yeah. Yeah. He's driving me crazy. Come on, Bodie. Come on. Come this way. Don't. Come on. They're crazy. But I'm ready for your second question whenever you are. No, 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 no. Not do with this, Bodie. Oh my gosh. Okay, BOGO 2. I feel like I got pulled into an interesting dream again involving her. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is kind of lining up to last night's readings where I was talking about dreams and dream journaling. I feel like I got pulled into an interesting dream involving her. It felt real, but I don't really remember it. Okay. So you're not crazy when you can sense someone in a dream, but you don't really remember the dream specifically. But you're like, no, definitely involved her energy or their presence. Like I can feel it. We all walk around with what I believe is an energy signature. Um, it's kind of like our own specific frequency. If you can think about like an energy being like a fragrance, like we have our own smell, we have our own pheromones that we give off. It's kind of like that energetically. So like, when you dream, I know, isn't that crazy, the events of today aligning? So when you have a specific energy frequency, it's like it doesn't matter if you can't see the person in your dream, you can feel their presence. It doesn't matter if you remember the dream, it's like they were there. So let's see, what was the dream trying to tell you? Sweeter than a rice cake. If you would like to post your question, you can do that now if you'd like. What was the dream trying to tell him? Okay, so I think you were actually getting a download to tell you that you were going to hear from her today. I know this sounds crazy, but I think that your dream was kind of letting you know that there was going to be a merging of your energies. So the reason why I'm getting that is because I have the Ace of Pentacles here, which is the exact card that I had in your last reading. And it was paired with the Death card, indicating that she was coming in to shake things up and give you something. And that something was her effort, her time, her words. And that card is showing up again in this reading. So I think that the dream was here to say there's going to be a merging of the two of you. There's going to be communication coming in. I almost felt like it was like not a warning, because it's not a bad thing, but it was almost just like a message of, hey, be prepared. Your energies are coming into, alignment. And it very well could be that she was in that dream and that's what compelled her even to communicate with you today, because she felt it as well. I have the Nine of Wands, which indicates like impulsivity. So I feel even though this is something that she's been contemplating on for a while, it's something that she decided at a random like drop of a hat today to do. I think she, you know, when you can deliberate on something for a while, but you don't actually make the decision. And then when you do, it can sometimes be like last minute or spontaneous. And I think that's kind of how things went down. So I really think that you're feeling her energy in that dream, because I think that was almost like your higher self or your conscience or something like that. Your intuition was coming through saying, hey, you're going to hear from her. She's coming in. Okay, sweeter, that sounds good. Let's see. What was the dream trying to tell him? Literally, King of Wands, as I was talking about. Impulsivity, unexpected communication. That's that card right there. What was the dream trying to tell him? Okay, stop scratching the... Oh my god, I'm going to lose my shit, IJ. I'm literally going to lose my mind. I'm literally going to lose my mind. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Bodhi. Come on. Let's just go back to your room for a little bit. We need to reset. Come on. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep interrupting my readings because you're being a butthead. Let's go. Come on. Come on, guys. You want your snacks? So, come on. Come on. If it's not one, it's the other. I swear to God, they can't just behave together at the same time. Okay, I threw them in. They're in their bedroom now. They got their snacks and their toys and all that, so they'll be fine for a little bit. I just am getting tired of interrupting your reading. I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's keep pulling some cards here. Ooh, Four of Wands. So this card talks about coming together. It can talk about your connection, IJ, leveling up as well. So I think that maybe you guys are coming into like just like taking things to the next level in your relationship. Maybe your dream is trying to let you know. I don't know. I almost feel like it's just like a premonition or like a prophecy dream or something along those lines, where basically your own inner conscience was just trying to prepare you for what comes next. I often think sometimes we were given information prior to things happening, especially like unions and like big moments, like life altering moments in our life. We usually get kind of like information beforehand, so that way it's easier for us to process it after the fact. Like sometimes if like you're going to, I don't know, like for instance, my husband, when he proposed to me, like I had a dream literally days before he was going to propose that he proposed. So it's like almost like it's like a way to get your body to adjust to something new that's coming your way. So I think that you and her are working towards union. You essentially are kind of like just doing all of the right things. You're on the right path. You're making the right decisions when it comes to her. And I think that it's just fully supporting your union at some point. Obviously, it's not going to be today, but I think that it's coming. And I think that your dreams are trying to connect you with your inner self. You know what I mean? So I don't know if there was really anything big to communicate. But I think when these life changes come in, because I have the tower, whenever like these big, like life changing events come through, I think you're probably going to get this information through dreams. I know dreams is really big for you, IJ. You might even feel like you get, I guess, like premonitions from your dreams. You get information and insight from them. And you just might be one of those people that walk this earth that get a lot of information from the dreams because it's a time when your conscious mind can kind of get out of the way and your subconscious can come through. I'm one of those people too. So just, I guess, be grateful and just know that I think that dream was more so just like a way to let you know, hey, you're going to be hearing from her. Um, and yeah, yeah. And I think if she's feeling that same energy too, as I mentioned before, that could have been exactly what compelled her to communicate with you. Because if she was feeling you in her dream as well. You guys are just, it's very obvious and very apparent that you're on one another's mind and that you think about each other quite a bit. They have been big. Let me know, IJ, if you have any follow up to that. You also feel the urge to be near water more. Oh my gosh. Was water an influence in our shared dreams? Was water an influence in their shared dreams? I am getting a yes, King of Pentacles. I also like wanna kind of, oh, there's a King of Wands and the Chariot here too. I'm getting a yes for you, IJ, and I also like want to bring attention to the fact that water is purifying. Like people use water to charge their crystals. Water is a conductor. They use water to cleanse their crystals. Water to cleanse your body. Water cleanses your body outside and inside. It like dilutes things and it helps eliminate toxins. Like water is purifying. Like it's insane. So, like, even at a boiling point, you can sterilize things. So, I think water is just like going to be huge for your connection. And as I mentioned before, like, she's always trying to keep your connection pure. And so, the fact that water and purity are the same, and it's like a lot of like the same energy and like adjectives I would use to describe your connection, it's actually kind of crazy. Yeah, Sweeter says water can be very spiritual. He might have a connection to it. It's like the closer that he does, and he's also a water sign, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So he's gonna have a natural affinity towards it. But it's also like almost like binding the two of you guys. There's a lot of imagery. There's like words like purifying and cleansing. And then I also mentioned before in terms of your connection, like a bridge, and bridge usually means over water. So it's just like there's a lot of imagery, I guess, a lot of words in terms of your connection when it comes to it. So it would make sense. And I think follow follow those urges. Like if you feel like there's something you want to do it. Yeah, Cancer. That's right. Yep, yep. You can use it to manifest pure intentions, give things, and pray that it guides you in your connection. Yeah. You're welcome, IJ. I really don't have a lot of water. Well, I have some water in my chart, not a lot though. And I still feel like an affinity towards it as well. So I can only imagine as a water sign or like with heavy water influence and placements in your chart, it would be even stronger. IJ, you should totally, if you haven't already, I don't know if you would be able to figure out her birth time unless you know it somehow, if you guys communicated it. But it would be really cool to kind of like look at your compatibility in your birth chart. You can compare charts on Astrology Cafe. So if you haven't done that yet, you should. It would be a fun read, I feel, for you guys. All right, sweeter, you can post if you're ready. James, I got your donation that just came through, so you'll be after Sweeter Than a Rice Cake, okay? IJ, you should still be able to look at her chart and just select that you don't know the time. If you want me to do it for you, I can. I just need your information. Hey, Amy, welcome in. You sent it on Instagram. Okay, that's right. I forgot you were going to do that. Hold on. Amy, yes, donations are still open for a little bit longer. All right, let's take a look for you, sweeter. Okay, yeah, so Amy, I am still taking donations and I will be live this weekend. Yes. Both. Yes to both. All right. So I have kind of dug into, or I'm so sorry. Sweeter. Sweeter, I have pulled cards for you. So couple of things. First, I want to talk about him and I want to talk about why it's so hard for him. And what this kind of stems to is, or what it comes down to or stems from, is the Queen of Pentacles here. So, Queen of Pentacles is like a motherly figure. I specifically asked, what is the shadow side of him that blocks him from this connection? And I have the Queen of Pentacles. So, the Queen of Pentacles is like the mother figure. This could basically be issues that stem from his childhood and his relationship with his mother, whether it's existent or not. A lot of times, this could indicate that he has some wounds there from growing up. You can't hear? Hold on a second. Let me double check. You might have to just go back because you were having issues last night too, I think. Okay, I just double checked the audio and it's coming through clear on my side. So maybe just rewind a little bit and then hit the playback speed like at like a 1.5 or 2, and then that way you can catch up with me. Okay, perfect. So if you missed a little bit of what I said, definitely go back and just do a fast playback speed so you can catch up. But essentially, what I was saying is that there's some type of connection with a maternal figure or a mother figure that is the shadow side of the block here. Oh, dang. I'm sorry, girl. Um, so I feel whether this person has an existent relationship with this maternal figure or not, there's wounds that lie here that stop him from like being able to, I guess, commit or whatever the issue is here that he's struggling with. This could be that he was never really demonstrated a good like what a really good healthy relationship looks like. It could indicate that he has mother wounds, and a lot of times this could indicate that he has some type of insecurity or fear surrounding having a committed person, a healthy person, a wife. Because the Queen of Pentacles, it's like your mom is your whole world as a child. And then when you grow up, then your partner becomes that your whole world, you know? And or it's basically your parents are your whole world, and then you grow up and then your partner becomes your whole world, and then you create a new family with them. And so there's something that's getting lost in translation for him in terms of like what he's wanting for his future, what that looks like for him. And I think it stems from either an issue that he had, how he was raised, maybe something that went down when he was younger. But this is specifically correlating with his mom. I'm not seeing the father being the issue in terms of his commitment. I think it's his mom or a maternal figure for him. So basically, even if that was his grandmother, if his grandmother raised him, that's who we're talking about. If his mom raised him, that's who we're talking about. If he didn't have a relationship with his mom, that's who we're talking about. We're basically referring to this connection that he has through his maternal side of like his family. And it's becoming an issue for him because it's demonstrating how he's viewing women. So this could be many different things. This could be he saw his mother being treated like crap. Maybe his father didn't respect her. This could be his mom wasn't existent in his life, and his dad was the one that raised him and didn't treat women well. This could also be that they had his father and his mother raised him, but they had a destructive, bad relationship with each other. This could also be like maybe if they had a healthy relationship, he has a wounded relationship with his mom for some reason. His dad wasn't around. Okay. So what it tells me is that there's some type of wound that he has when it comes to his mom, whether this be like he needing to protect her and feeling like he's got to give his all to her. So he needs to make her a priority. Maybe he was raised to feel like, you know, he needed to put her first. And so if he finds a wife, then he's leaving his mom behind, even though that doesn't make sense. Maybe to him, that's how he processes that. Or maybe he's never really been demonstrated a healthy relationship. But whatever this wound is that is stopping him and making things hard and serving as a block for your connection, it has to do with his mom specifically, is what they're showing me. And I think that he's having a very hard time with, I guess, feeling like he is capable of having a healthy relationship himself. So this could look like a fear of commitment. This could look like going through a lot of women, not really getting serious with any of them, just like hooking up and having situationships. This can look like many different things, but essentially like that's what's going on with him. It can indicate him understanding your value and seeing your value, but like not ever settling down or putting down roots. There's just a situation going on with him that he would have to specifically work through. And I know that you said like you want to know what is this block? Like what is making things so hard for him? And that is this. That is this reference that I'm talking about. Um he's coming through as the page. The page is the child. So that makes me feel like there's a wound that happened that started around when he was a kid. And it's almost like he's stuck there. It's almost like he's frozen, like he cannot grow up, he cannot mature, he cannot develop past this, even though physically he is growing up and yeah, I'm sure he's a man at this point. He's still kind of paralyzed and not really had like the, I guess, nurturing or nourishment or like, I don't know what happened, but it's almost like stunted him in some way. And he is just kind of stuck in this like younger mindset. So there's a lack of maturity, and also there's just like this mindset of Peter Pan syndrome, like never want to grow up kind of thing. He wants to stay young forever. He wants to sow his wild oats forever. Like, I don't think that he's ready to like face the reality of his age. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that and suffer from that. But this is basically what he's going through right now. So this is like that energy to answer your question in terms of like, why is this so hard for him? Now, as far as like your current energies and your future energies, not much is really changing too much. It might even get worse in the future, to be honest. I think right now is a challenge for you. We have the Seven of Wands. We also have the Queen of Cups, is like you're standing here like willing to give him you. You're willing to say, hey, I'm all in if you are. And he's just like refusing this offer for whatever reason. It could also be making you feel bored of this connection, disappointed, and kind of like over it as well. Or maybe depending on how long you've been going through this, you could even be feeling indifferent and at this point not really caring that much. But I feel like deep down you do have hope for this connection, and maybe whatever is going on or whatever your feelings are is really what's keeping this hope alive. But the future of this connection is indicating that you're not getting from him what you want. There could even be a time of separation between you two. You're looking for him to give more to you, and he's holding on to that. I have the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles here, and again, he's coming through as the page. There's lots and lots of pages, which indicate to me that he's stunted. Development wise, like mentally, emotionally stunted, which means that he doesn't have this emotional availability or capacity to give back to you the way that you're looking for. We have the Temperance here. It's saying that this is going to require a lot of patience on your part. And even in the end, Five of Cups, like you might still end up disappointed. So really? Okay, got you, got you. All right, give me some more cards on their future here. Give me some more cards on their future. So I see that you guys have been through a lot. I have the Queen of Swords, and I believe that's how you're presenting to this connection, which is making me feel like you have felt compelled to stand up for yourself. You're very observant. You're noticing a lot. You might have gotten to a point where you're like not saying as much, more like observant and keeping more quiet. You're just trying to pay attention to things. The Queen of Swords is very analytical, very smart, very intelligent, and that's how you're coming through. And basically needing to be clear about your wants and your needs. 2016, 2023, that's a long time. That's a very, very long time. What you're asking for is fair. I feel like what Spirit wants you to know is that it's very fair. To state your case and like how you feel is valid, and they want you to know that. Give me more information on the future here. More information on the future. As of right now, sweeter, you said that's crazy. Wow. As of right now, I don't think the future is very stable with this person. Um, there's like a lot of love here and a lot of like feelings here, I guess you could say. But it seems because I have the tower, I see like 8 of cups, 5 of cups, the tower. It's like while you guys might have like great chemistry and like have fun together, really enjoy one another's time, it's like the future of this connection is not very stable right now. Um, it's definitely going to require, yes, perfect. I see you said now I'm feeling like he's going to eventually come and have a heart to heart. So I think that it's going to require setting realistic expectations. I think it's going to require more communication from the two of you. I think it's going to require him being fully transparent in what he's looking for, what he wants, and what he can realistically offer to you, and vice versa. And until then, it just seems like the status of your future feels very shaky at best. It just doesn't feel very stable. It feels like anything can go wrong. Now, the good part about tarot is that you can always influence things. If you don't like what you hear, you can always make some changes and adjust and see if that sets you up for more success. But this is just kind of where I'm tapping in right now, is like the future of your connection is not super secure. So it is probably going to require, as you mentioned, like more heart to heart conversations for you to really see like what the energy is, the realistic trajectory moving forward. But he has some stuff to work through for sure. Oh, you did? Okay, hold on a second. All right, I can tap into this energy for you, Keller. I'm so sorry I did not see that donation. There is a donation list going at this time. So, you will have a little bit of a wait. Okay. If you want to donate another $5 to skip the line, I can make you next. But if you can't do that, that's totally fine and understandable. But it is going to be a few before I can get to you, okay? You're welcome. All right, so sweeter, that is what I've got for you, friends. Okay, Keller, let me pull you up real quick here. You're welcome, sweeter. He said, that's insane. You picked it up perfectly. This was definitely everything we'd already been through. That's so crazy. Well, sweeter, I'm so glad that Spirit came through and was able to give you that confirmation that you needed. I'm happy to hear that it resonated for you. All right, Keller, I have you for a skip. So let's go ahead and do you next, okay? All right, so you donated for an in-depth reading. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull extra cards in your questions and see what information I can get for you. Does that sound okay? Perfect. Okay, and I'm also going to do a last call for donations. If anybody else wants to donate, get those in soon because we're going to be closing the list. All right, has X moved on? Has X moved on, please? Has X moved on? All right, Keller, there is a little window, a little crack, I think, for you guys to reunite, but it's not very strong. They're saying, first of all, has your ex moved on? I am getting a yes. Well, let me ask if they've moved on solo or moved on with someone else. If they've moved on solo. Has the ex moved on solo? Has the ex moved on with someone else? The ex moved on with someone else. Okay. There's not someone specific in the picture right now. She could be, or I'm sorry, I said she. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but oh no, you're good. So yes, X has moved on. It does not look like there's anyone specific that they are moving on with. It seems like they're moving on solo. So maybe he's trying to like rediscover themselves, like put more self-love back in, focus on being single, that kind of thing. It doesn't mean that your ex isn't kind of dipping their toe in and talking to other people, but it doesn't seem like there's someone very clear. It's a he. Okay. So it doesn't seem like he might be kind of dipping his toes in, things like that. And like talking to people or whatever, but nothing is super serious is what I'm getting. There's nothing. I feel like he is moving on solo. He's coming through as like the Queen of Wands, so it's making me feel like he's trying to like kind of, I guess, have a glow up or something like that. Like he's putting effort into himself, he's focusing on himself, he's doing what feels good, a lot of self-care, that kind of thing. But again, he is moving on solo, single. I don't feel like there's anybody else that has come in a serious way that's trying to like make a move on him or something. Now, with that being said, I do think it's possible that he's communicating with other people. But it's like more like flirty, boost my ego kind of thing. Okay. I specifically asked, is there a chance of you guys reuniting? There is. It's a very, very small window. I think that he's having too much enjoyment out of kind of being on his own right now. So I think you guys could come back together as friends. I have the Three of Pentacles here. I asked, is it possible that you would come back together as lovers? And I'm getting a maybe. Is it possible that you guys would come together in a relationship? And it's very, 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 very small. It's a very small yes. I think that friends is like the highest chance. Lovers is like still option for like hooking up and things like that is still on the table. But in terms of being in a relationship again, I think it's a very, very small chance. I really think that he's doing his best to kind of move forward, move on, kind of close the door on this. But you guys still have a lot of chemistry with one another. And so that makes me feel like there might be a desire from him to kind of be with you again, hook up with you again, spend time with you again, just because you're familiar and you guys really do have like a good bond with each other. But I just don't know. I don't feel confident telling you that he would be open to a relationship again. I think that maybe friends, maybe hookups, things like that. I just don't think a relationship is on the table. I would say yes, Keller. I feel like that would be probably a good move for you. Here's my motto. If something is meant for you, it's not going to pass you by. It's going to stick around. So no matter what you do, you'll always find your way back to each other if it's meant to be. So I think that you, for your own good, for your own sake, should just start moving forward. I don't think that you should try to compete. I hear Spirit saying don't compete with him. Don't like go and start dating people just because you think that's what he's doing. Make sure that you're doing it for yourself is what I'm hearing. Spirit saying yes to that. So do it in your own time, but I would kind of put your ex out of your mind as a realistic option in terms of like a relationship right now. Now, things can always change, but that's the trajectory right now, and I feel confident in telling you that. You reached out to him after 1.5 months. You're not sure if he'll respond. Yeah. Will he respond to Keller? Will he respond to Keller? I'm getting a maybe right now, Keller. I don't have a clear answer for you on that. Which way are we leaning? Most likely yes or most likely no? Most likely yes or most likely no? Yeah, I think he's probably going to he might not respond right away, Keller. I know you don't want to move on. I'm getting that. I'm definitely getting that in the cards that I have. Like the Ten of Swords feels like defeated, like you feel defeated. I don't know exactly what happened, but there could have been some kind of like breakdown in trust in this connection, feeling unsafe, feeling like you can't be yourself, or feeling maybe hurt or betrayed in some way. There could be like themes like that going on, and it's really hard. That song, it's old song, but it says when a heart breaks, it doesn't break even. And that's so true, because usually there's one person that's leaving the connection feeling a bit more like it gets easier for them. Like, I'm not saying breakups are hard, because they are hard for both sides, but it's usually one person that's hurting more or having a harder time with it. I'm so sorry. You must feel very, very betrayed. Hey, Ray. Yeah, donations are still open, but they are going to close here in the next few minutes. I'm really sorry that this happened. I think you got a good head on your shoulders, and I think you'll know what to do. But if you want my advice, I would say try to put the idea of getting back together out of your mind, just for the sake of your own sanity and your own mental health. And just try to do what he's doing and put more focus in on yourself right now, because the more love that you pour into yourself, the better you're going to feel, the more attractive you are going to be to other people when you're ready to put yourself back out there again. Does that answer your question, Keller? I said I can't believe this happened. When did you guys break up? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because you had said that it had the first time you reached out was after a month and a half. So but it's still fresh. That's still really fresh. Um, I pulled a card for you, Keller, just as like a freebie. I asked for advice from Spirit, and the one thing that they're telling me is validate your experience that this is hard. Validate your feelings every single day. Try not to dwell in that place. Try to do your best to create healthy habits. And if you find yourself spiraling, like do something to pull yourself out of it. And the direction that they gave me to tell you is to just find something that is your peace. Find something that you can do that does bring you peace, because it's going to be really hard. It's probably been, the hardest part is over. Every single day is going to get easier, but sometimes grief, heartbreak, things like that, your heart breaks over and over and over again, and it's never easy. But if you can find something that can bring you peace during those times, there's something that you can do or people that you can be around that makes it a little less painful. That's what I would suggest, because when you're hurting, you can sometimes spiral, you can like overthink and overanalyze, and you find yourself in this complete opposite headspace of something that's supposed to bring you tranquility or serenity. So if you can find something to do that will bring you peace or take your mind off of things, basically find your peace is what Spirit is saying. I actually did not sense that he was cheating, actually. I just feel like he might have. I don't think he was cheating. I really don't. I mean, I could be wrong. I almost feel like it was like this realization that he just didn't want to be in this connection anymore. Maybe he wanted something different for his life. Maybe he wanted to experience something different. But I don't think that it was any one particular thing that happened like that. All right. So next up we have James, and then we have Ray. Ray, I have your question. Let's see. Ray, if you want, I can answer your question through astrology if you would like, because I have a reading that I can do specifically through astrology. So if that sounds appealing to you, Ray, let me know, because I can do that for you. Keller, you said, yeah, he said that. Thanks. You're welcome. I think you can trust what he said. I really, really do. I think that I feel almost like he's a good person. It's just when he decides that he wants to do something, he just does it. And I think that really he considered your feelings, but ultimately his feelings mattered more in that situation, and he did what he felt was best for him. And that can sometimes really hurt, and I'm sorry. But I think that you can take what he said at face value. You're welcome. Ray, we can do a little bit of both if you want. Okay, so Ray, do me a favor on Instagram. Send me your date of birth, time of birth, location of birth, basically all the information. And I'm gonna have to look at your birth chart, and then I can pull up specific information, and then I'll use tarot for additional details. All right, so channeled messages, love option 2. Amy, I do not have a donation from you, girl. All right, channeled messages, love 2. How does Patty view you? How will this fair coming up next Sunday we're doing affect our relationship? All right, let me do your channeled message. Amy, if you still want to donate, that's fine with me. But if you want to wait, that's cool too. You just let me know. I'll accept either way because you came in earlier. So it's not like you're just now showing up. So if you want to wait, that's cool. If you want to donate, that's cool. It's up to you. Okay, go for it. Okay, Amy, I got it. You're going to be after Ray, okay?
I'm dressed to impress.
Whoa. We are currently working on a channeled message for James. After that, we have Ray, then Amy, and that is it. All lists are closed for the night. We're almost done, James, about halfway. All right, James. So I just channeled her. Tonight is like weird. I'm getting almost like self-deprecating humor or something. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is just a way for her to like humor herself into becoming a better person. I don't know if self-deprecating humor is like who she is. Maybe that's just normal for her. I don't know. Um, but it is interesting. I mean, she's not saying like really bad stuff about herself, but I think she's just like, and then she's also like wondering how you view her too, in regards to that. So that's interesting. But anyways, let's read your channeling. She said, if someone were to ask you about me, I wonder how you would describe me. Would you tell them I mess up the good things in my life and that I self sabotage? LOL. I wonder how you see me. Am I just a flake? Am I broken to you? Do I leave you feeling disappointed or dissatisfied? I want to change. I want to do better. I don't want to be this screw up that doesn't know who she is or what she wants. I even have a hard time dealing with myself. I don't know how you stand me sometimes. Maybe you don't. I'll express myself better one day, I hope. So that was interesting. Um, it's kind of like a it's kind of like a sassy energy that I don't really channel from her too much, I don't think. But it was also like looking at herself negatively, so I was a little it was interesting. It was interesting. But let's do your love too. Let me shuffle for that now. That's crazy. That does sound like how she'd talk. That's crazy. Yeah. Maybe she's really caring about your opinion as well lately. Like maybe she's worried that like you're gonna, I don't know, like talk bad about her or that you're gonna think bad about her. Maybe she's trying to beat you to the punch, you know? She's gonna say the bad stuff about her before you can, kind of thing. So I sometimes wonder if like when I'm channeling her, James, I'm channeling her higher self, like how her higher self would talk if her higher self were who she currently is. If she was consciously aware of these higher self thoughts. And then sometimes I feel like I connect with her three-dimensional self, like who she actually currently is right now. And it looks like maybe that last channeling was like not her higher self, but like who she actually is right now in her ego and in her full three-dimensional self. AB, yes, I did mention it before that I did get it as soon as it came through. Oh no, you're good. I think everybody's having issues with their service for some reason. It's like a universal thing that people are dealing with right now. So, no worries. All right, James, we're shuffling for your love two now. It's getting late, guys. It's getting late. I posted earlier on my personal Instagram that I've been having really bad food aversions lately. I don't know what is going on, but it's like nothing sounds good to me. And I'm struggling with that. And I don't know what it is, but it's like I'll go, oh, that sounds good. And then I'll think about that for like 30 seconds and it just sounds disgusting. It's like I just can't find anything that sounds good. And like maybe I find something that sounds good and I eat it and I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. And then I go to make it again and it makes me feel nauseous just thinking about it. I don't know if anybody else suffers from that or not, but been dealing with that pretty strongly lately. And I don't know why it happens. It happens a lot. It happens a couple times a year, and I always know when it's about to start because it starts like giving me warning signs. Do you guys deal with that? It's really weird. It's really freaking weird. And then it's strange and interesting. So I posted about it, and I think like 50 people saw it, and only 2 people were like, I deal with that too, and this is what I do when I'm having like those days. And I'm pretty convinced the one thing we all 3 of us have in common is that we like have undiagnosed ADHD. So it could be that, but it is really weird. Like I can like something for like a week straight. It's like all I want. It's so good to me. And then something happens. It's kind of like the egg ick or like a chicken ick. Like you can eat eggs and they can be so good to you for like a month straight. You could eat them like multiple times a week and then suddenly you're grossed out by them and you don't eat them for like 3 months. Or chicken is too chickeny or whatever. Like I just get really weird food aversions. Anyways, I've been struggling over here trying to figure out what to eat. And tonight I made acai puree to kind of turn into like a sorbet tomorrow. And I'm going to make some acai bowls. It has to be frozen in the freezer for like 12 to 24 hours. But I'm really looking forward to that. For some reason, fruit, like smoothies, fruit, protein shakes, are really the only things that get me through life when this happens to me. And it's really sad because I love food. So it sucks when this happens to me. Love to Patty and James. Love to Patty and James. And I really only know about it happening to like women as well. I think I know what you mean. It's almost like a craving hit. Like I would be stuck on instant ramen for a good 2 weeks and all of a sudden like, nah. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, it's like an aversion to all food. Like nothing sounds good. And this is day 2 of that where like I'm kind of grossed out by food. I'm just, ugh. Food is nasty. But the problem is that I'm hungry. So it's like I have to solve that problem. I was gonna make a pot roast. That was one thing that was sounding good to me, but then like I got to the store and I don't know, I just changed my mind. It's weird. It's really weird. Patty and James. Patty and James. Patty and James. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's weird. I don't think that everyone deals with it or suffers from it. They probably think that I'm crazy. Yes, I think that might be what it is. But the problem is that it's not just an aversion when the food is right in front of me. It's thinking about it, thinking about food. Like I literally have to go if I could have anything in the world. If I could eat anything in the world and I could go get it, buy it, or make it. Literally anything what sounds good to me. And like I struggle with that. Just the idea of anything and nothing sounds good. Right now I could probably go for tacos, but specifically corn shell tacos. It's weird. Anyways, okay, so James, I have pulled your cards. I have 4 of cups, Three of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Chariot, Ace of Swords, and the Devil. Overall, looking at this is making me feel like you have some new starts up ahead with Patty, some new energy coming in for you guys. Maybe where you guys are talking about your feelings, communicating your feelings or thoughts or ideas to one another. The Ace of Cups indicates like a self-expression of emotions, and then Ace of Swords is a communication card. So, and they both talk about like incoming of these things. So maybe you guys are working towards a place where you guys are communicating a bit more, or you're having more heart to hearts, or something along those lines. And James, I think it's really good that you don't tell me the status of your connection. Like sometimes it's helpful, but also it's nice sometimes as a reader to just feel the energy. So, don't worry about like keeping me posted on what's going on with you guys. I just want to make sure that the reading resonates for you. But as of right now, it feels like breakthroughs in communications are the only influences at this time. So it can indicate that upcoming or on the horizon that you guys will be communicating a bit more. I see her feeling very single minded right now. She's focusing on something. I don't know if this is some type of project or what, but the Chariot indicates that she's trying to have good progress, I guess, in her life and maybe even in this connection with you. I think that she's looking for, I guess, things to be better between you. Maybe she's becoming more consciously aware of this weird place that you guys had been in and like not fully liking that or something. So overall, it looks pretty good, but I would say that the Chariot can tend, or there's a tendency for the Chariot energy to be continually self-centered, or selfish in their mindset because they have something in mind that they want or that they want to do or that how they want to be. And no one can really change them. They're not here for distractions. They're kind of doing their own thing and focusing on like their lane, like their own path. So you're still going to probably feel from her still doing what she wants to do. But I think that she is, I guess, like opening up or like becoming more considerate of how she's been treating you and how things have been going. So you might notice that reflected in communication. Um, I see here that she's open to collaborations with you as well. Working together, things like that are good. It's a good energy to be in. I don't think that she's in a place to accept any offers from you in terms of like romantic proposals or things like that. So you're kind of just going to have to take this one day at a time. Um, Tell me about this devil. Tell me about this devil. What's going on here? So I know that we did a channeling last night, James, where I had told you about how she's kind of torn between individuality and like her freedom versus like a relationship. Um, so I think that that's still a chain that binds her. I asked why the devil was here, and I have the Two of Cups. So there's some things like it's like an association thing. It's like if you hold up a card and you're like, say the first word that comes to mind when I say apple and someone says red. It's kind of like an association thing. If you say relationship, she says suffering. Like if you say connection, she says claustrophobic. If you say commitment, she says like death. I don't know. It's basically like the way that she's associating like relationships right now. And I think the reason why that's being highlighted so strongly the last couple of days is just because that is something she's trying to work through. I don't think she wants to associate relationships with suffering or smothering or like suppression or oppression or whatever. I think she wants to view relationships as like healthy and like freedom, but in a different way. I think she's trying to process that a little bit. I don't know how she's going to work through that. I really don't. I'm over here like, please spirit tell me like how is she going to be ready for a relationship unless she just puts herself out there. But maybe just witnessing other relationships. I think witnessing like having a friend that's in a healthy relationship and just like being a part of that journey might start shifting her mindset. I think it's just like she has to witness the love that she could have. She needs to see that relationships are good, that there's good to be had. But yeah, she's processing that right now. Okay, so let's take a look at your BOGOs. So Ray, if you're still in the room, I do not have your birth chart information because I remember I was going to do an astrology reading on you. So either you can inbox me on Instagram if you want, Ray, or you can just post it here in the chat if you want. And then you can delete your comment immediately because I'll still have it. So that's up to you. But you can message me, Luna Affinity, if you want it to be a private. All I need is your date of birth, time of birth, and location of birth if you have that. We're working on a BOGO for James, Ray, and then you're going to be next after this, okay? All right, how does Patty view James? Oh, I like this question. How does Patty view James? Lots of fire, James. So like you're giving creative, inspiring, passionate. Passionate's a big word I think she would use to describe you. Just coming through with like a lot of fire. When you get really like lit up or excited about something, it's like you can see that passion coming through. I would also say that she would say that you are very positive. You are usually a half glass full kind of guy. She thinks that success comes easily to you. She thinks that you're just good at everything you do. Like, basically, anything that you try, you're just amazing at it. Got it. Okay. I'm going to do your chart in a second, Ray. Thank you. So yeah, she just thinks that things come really easy to you. And I don't know if you would agree with that or not, but this is how she's viewing you. I think that she's also comparing herself to you quite a bit. So when things don't come as easily or naturally to her as they do you, it's something that she notices. Sometimes we don't realize like how effortlessly we do something. Like for instance, people say they're in awe of how I communicate and how I come across. Like I'm able to articulate myself really well. I'm able to literally just understand how I feel and express myself. The emotional intelligence is like really strong there. And people say they really admire that about me because that is not something that comes naturally to them. And I don't realize that the way that I think, the way that I communicate isn't just naturally easy to every single person. Like I feel like what I downplay that is a skill or whatever that I have because I think that what comes easy to me just comes easy to everyone. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say is that she looks at you as like just effortless, like you just are good at whatever it is you put your mind to. Whatever you do, it just comes easy to you. And so if it's not something you agree with or it's not something you've noticed, this is something that she feels about herself. She's an idiot. She's an idiot who does all the hard work and sacrifices I made. Yeah. That is her attitude. Like, it's so easy. You're healed. You're happy. Yeah, I fucking work to be this way. Right. So that's what I'm saying, James. Is like, she's only seeing like the butterflies and rainbows side of it. She's not realizing like all the work that you put into yourself to get to where you are. Totally understandable. So that's how she views you. And I don't think she views it as like a bad thing. I think she views it as an amazing thing. But again, it's like she's just taking that for what it is, and she's not really digging deeper to understand like how you got to where you are and why you are the way that you are. So I totally understand that. She also views you as someone who's like always on and ready for the next thing. Like, James, I don't know if you have a hard time enjoying the moment, but she views you as like a very fast-paced person. Like she like once you're done with one thing, you're just already ready for the next thing, or you're like already thinking about like what's the next thing that we're doing or what's the next thing that I'm doing. It's like you're always 5 steps ahead. And so she's viewing you as someone who just like always is like ready for the next thing. You move very quickly. This could be that air attitude, right? Like you're just easily just like flitting from one thing to the next, and just like what's the next thing that we're doing, let's go ahead and get it done. But that is how she's viewing you. It's just like you're always thinking ahead, 3 steps ahead, 5 steps ahead, etc. You definitely have a lot of self-confidence that you exude. You know, as you had mentioned before, you're healed, you're happy, etc. That's how she's viewing you here, because the 3 of Wands and the six of Wands is like happy celebration. Maybe she sees how other people celebrate you too, James. Like if you're ever like in a group setting, she's noticing that when other people are celebrating you or giving you accolades or just acknowledging you in some way. And again, that's with comparison to herself. She feels like it's easy for you to just like say, okay, that's cool, done with that, moving on to the next thing. Like it's very easy for you to close doors, close chapters, be ready for the next thing. According to her, like she's like, I struggle with letting things go. I dwell in the past. Like I have to process things. She's like waves, you know? She's like, some days I feel good, some days I don't. Some days I'm ready, some days I'm high, some days I'm low. And I think that she views you as someone who just like very easily can just like get over stuff and move on to the next thing. You know, all's well that ends well with you, basically. I feel like she feels like you're very decisive, you're a leader. Um, if you feel inspired by something, you just do it. You don't really have to think about it for too long. If it sounds good, you just do it. And that's just not how she operates. Which is funny because a lot of this stuff that I'm telling you is more so just like in comparison to her, which is interesting. But yeah, like if you want to do something, like if something sounds good, you're just like, all right, let's do it. Like you don't really deliberate too much. In terms, if it's something that fires you up and gets you excited, whatever it is, you're just like, all right, it is what it is. You're a lover, not a fighter. You're very solid, independent dude. And this is how she views you. So let me know if you have any questions about that. I am going to shuffle for your next question. I love how you're like, she's an idiot. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. I guess I should have asked how she views me romantically, but this was nice to hear. I'll pull a couple cards on that. How does she view him romantically? How does she view him romantically? Five of Wands. You guys are funny. Like, your connection is so, like, it actually is passionate and it actually is intense. Um, you remind me of, like, I don't know, just like two people who just like butt heads all the time, but you have so much love for each other. How does she view him romantically? Um, clashing personalities, conflict. um, passionate though. It's Leo energy. Defensive but territorial, protective. Um, yeah, it's like you guys are just like, I don't know. That's just like the vibe. But I also have the Seven of Pentacles, which indicates to me that romance is going to come in time, according to her. Romance should come in time, will come in time. Maybe she expects it to just like happen. Seven of Pentacles indicates that she's like, she sees the effort you've put in, she sees that you've been planting the seeds. And I feel like she's just saying that maybe she's saying his hard work will pay off. Maybe at some point I can see myself being with him, or um, things will come to fruition. But whatever it is, this card, it talks about like it's essentially a waiting game until you're both ready. And then the Sun, she's viewing things very positively. She's viewing that she does have fun with you. I think the word promising is probably the best word to describe how she views you romantically. Potential or promising. And I think that's really all we can ask right now. I think that's a really good like adjective, I suppose. Because it's not concrete, and I don't feel it being concrete. I can't confidently tell you that. But for her to say promising, for her to say potential, I think that's a good start. How will this fair coming up next Sunday affect the relationship together? How will the fair coming up next Sunday affect the relationship together? Okay, it's good. It's really, really good. I'm getting this is going to affect it very positively. I think that it's only good. It's only affecting things in good ways. I don't think there's a lot of negativity here. I think it's going to feel like, I don't know. It's either going to feel neutral or it's going to feel good. I don't really feel like bad stuff coming from this at all. I do have the Four of Wands, which talks about like leveling up in your connection or like taking things to the next level. So, you know, if right now you guys aren't communicating, then maybe you feel like, okay, this has opened the door, this has broken the ice, so that way we can communicate more, spend some more time together today or whatever. If you guys are communicating, then maybe this is opening up the door for you guys to make plans to see each other again outside of an event, maybe one-on-one or something like that. But essentially, it's talking about like leveling up, like things being better, ending on good terms. I think you walk away that day feeling like you guys are in a better place, however the day goes. Now, Is this one event going to change the entire course or trajectory of your connection? I don't necessarily think that, but I do feel like it's good. I feel like it's an offering. I feel like it's an olive branch. I feel like it's an extension of energy. I feel like you walk away feeling good about it. I do think you guys are going to have some time to connect, I feel. Are you guys doing this event together? Or like, so is there something happening where you guys are running like a booth together, or are you guys doing separate things? How is this going down? Or are you going to a fair together? I will say, I feel like this kind of opens the doors for you a bit. Okay. Ooh, I like that. What are you guys doing? Yeah, I'm getting opening doors, olive branches, clearing the air, leveling up, like walking away feeling happy about the day. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I think you guys are going to have some good banter. Um, I think it's going to be nice, like, doing this together. I think you're going to have a happy ending, a happy outcome. At the end of the day, I think you're going to be really happy you did this. However it turns out, I think you're going to be happy about it. That's so crazy. How do you do Reiki at a booth? Do you just like pop someone up on a table? Like how does or is it more like just promotion? That's super cool though. Oh, you're bringing your massage table there. Okay, cool, cool, cool. That's awesome though. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think people are going to get a lot of enjoyment out of that. Is it like a wellness fair or something, or is it just like a general fair and you guys are just one of the booths? I've considered doing that with tarot, honestly. Um, I also have a very unrelated dream that I want to do that has nothing to do with what I'm currently doing. But it's kind of like an apothecary vibe. And I have an apothecary business and branding already. It's just something that I haven't streamlined yet. Um, but you guys, I don't even think you guys know about that, but I have an apothecary brand. And I was always thinking like how fun it would be to work those events doing one of those things. I think people will get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Oh, it's a psychic holistic fair. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. I would love to go to something like that. When is it? Did you say when it was? Oh, next Sunday. Dang, that's crazy. I'll have to look into stuff like that around here. I would love to go to one. James, does that answer your questions? Hopefully it does. Let me know. Ray, I sent you a message on Instagram. I just had one quick question for you before I get started. Oh, awesome. I see you just sent it to me. At the Holiday Inn. That is so cool. I love it. Oh my God. I hope you guys have so much fun. I actually was supposed to be in Pennsylvania that weekend, but I ended up not being able to go because I don't have anyone to go with me. And it was supposed to be for my cousin's baby shower. So I won't be going anywhere that weekend, but that's kind of funny. That's very, very cool. Look, if I could put something like that on, I would. I don't know if we have stuff like that around here. I'll have to look into it. A pickle hit. I made some pickles recently. I made my own. That's so funny. Pickles are so good. Okay, so this is for Ray. Ray, I got all your information. I did have a quick question for you, Ray, but because I don't know if you're going to be able to answer me before then, I'm just going to make a guess here. Like that crunch. I love pickles. They're so good. I like pickle juice too. I'll literally just drink pickle juice. I'm so crazy. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, Ray, you have a stellium in Capricorn and Sagittarius. That's cool. You must be a really hard worker. I feel like work surrounding like travel and stuff would be pretty cool for you. Let me see. Maybe something to do with like a job to do with like children. I don't know. Okay. But anyways, that's not what we're doing here. We're doing how are you going to meet your next partner? How are you going to meet your next partner? Or no, how are you going to meet your person? How are you going to meet your life partner is the question. All right. Hold tight for me, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Ray, if you're in here, feel free to check in with me, friend. We are doing a astrology reading for Ray. She wants to know where she's going to meet her person. Ooh. My God. All right, Ray, we are shuffling for you now. I'm pulling a couple extra details here. You send your question on IG. Okay, that sounds good. Extra details, please. Extra details. All right, so this is for Ray. Ray says, how will I meet my person? Ray, I did this reading according to the information that you provided. I did need clarification on location, but because I didn't get that from you, I just went ahead with the one that I thought it was. So this may vary a little bit, and I can double check for you if you are able to clarify one at some point. But as of right now, what we do is we look at the 7th house. So your 7th house is ruled by Aries. Let me actually pull this up on my screen real quick. Actually, no, I'm not going to pull it up on the screen because you're not here and you don't give permission to that. Okay, but your 7th house is ruled by Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is in your 10th house. So what this is telling me, or also too, your 10th house is ruled by Cancer. So that gives me a little bit more information. So because your 7th house rules like partnerships and commitments, and your 7th house is ruled by Mars and Mars is in your 10th house, that is telling me that you are going to meet your person through work, career, profession. This is also the house of father or father figure relationships. So if you have a really close relationship with your dad or someone you perceive to be like a really good father figure, like a grandfather or uncle, something like that, you may also meet your person through your father or through your father figure. This is also the house in relation to social status. So basically how you are perceived within your community. So you can meet this person through a country club, horse races, work party or event, charity dinner, launching events, fashion shows, industry conferences or events, public speaking events, or through your public life. So if you are a public figure, you could meet someone through this public life or public image. So more than likely, it's going to be through your work, career, profession. You're going to meet them through your father figure, or it's in relations to your social status. So that is what I'm getting. That's what that house is ruled by. Is your career, father figure, and public image. So through one of those categories, which is what the 10th house is ruled by. I also pulled additional details on this person. I'm getting that they are emotionally available. They are emotionally mature. We have King of Cups energy. This person has been through quite a bit. I would not be surprised if your person has had a very long relationship before meeting you, one that they thought they might get married to, something like that, and it ended up not happening. Or they could be coming into this relationship having already been married. It's not a guarantee, but the judgment first out does indicate to me they've been through a lot. And that with you, it would basically be them taking all the lessons in life that they have learned and applying it to your connection so you can have the most healthy relationship available to you. I think there are some circumstances surrounding how you guys are going to meet that you're not supposed to know. It's supposed to be a surprise, because I have the Seven of Swords here. It could also indicate that the relationship is something that you guys keep very private when it first starts. Maybe it's not something you really want to post about or tell people about. You really want to just enjoy your relationship before you go public with it. Again, I'm getting more like collaboration, slash work, slash, I don't know what I'm getting here. But it feels like the tarot is almost really strongly aligning with your birth chart. So that's really interesting. The only other thing that I would say about your relationship is that this is a very like honest, trustworthy, fair connection. You guys might even get married like through the courts. Well, obviously everyone gets married through the court. They have someone who's like going to be the ordained person that's going to do the vows, or sometimes you go through like a commissioner or whatever. I think you guys might potentially get married through a commissioner and have more of like a celebratory like reception or symbolic wedding after that, or you might get married at the courthouse. But that's obviously a free will question. This is just the trajectory of that. And I think you guys are a really good team as well. I think you guys work really, really well together. So that might be why you guys meet at work. You do well at work. Maybe you start a business together, or maybe you're just really good at balancing one another out in life. And so that just means that you just jive. You just got good vibes. So, Ray, that is what I have for you. Let me know if you have any questions about that. We're moving on to Amy, and then we'll be all done. All right, Amy. Aw, okay, Amy, I just read your question. I can take a look at that for you. All right, Amy is last on my list, guys, and I am going to be signing off for the night. I was like, oh, this is going to be a quick live stream, and here I am, like, almost at the same time I was last night. It's okay, though. It's all good. As long as I can get in the shower relatively soon and get myself ready for bed. I'm so excited, Amy, to like, I don't know if you heard me, or no, you weren't here last night. But my website is finally almost done. I have to add my services to it, and I have to add reviews that people have left for me on there, but everything else is done. So I'm going to soft launch that before the end of the year. Work out all the kinks. I think I'm going to have stuff going through Square. So that way everything's streamlined into one place. Square does accept Cash App. I looked up PayPal. Unfortunately, they said they're going to stop doing that after October. So the people who pay through PayPal are probably going to have to use a different route, but Cash App is an option. But I'm really excited to start having like all of my services streamlined, and basically you just add to cart. And I'm going to stop doing like through my direct Cash App and stuff. But I'm really trying to make this like an actual business, you know? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've been working on that. So I think you guys are going to like it. I really, really like it. Can I show you a little sneak peek really quickly? So I wanted to create an image where I could like basically post the different services that I have, and I'm going to be using this like thumbnail, I suppose you could say, on the website, and it's created with my likeness. I used a photo of myself that mixed with AI, and I was able to create like a really cool image. My brother said it's so freaky because it looks just like me, which is funny that he said that. Let's see. I'm just going to share it on the screen. You see that? That's me. That's me, but AI generated. So I'm going to use that as a thumbnail for my website as well. But I thought it was really cool. So I'm just sharing a little sneaky peeky with you. Isn't it? Isn't it so cool? It does look like me, right? So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really happy. I'm thankful for your guys' support. I really feel like I'm just entering a new era for my business, and I'm ready for it. I gotta say, when it comes to dating, I've noticed it's slightly hard for me just because of how I was raised traditionally in Asian Cambodian culture. If you are ever curious to make a cute little avatar or banner art per se, I'm happy to practice. Ooh, that'd be so fun. Amy, obviously I would like absolutely take you up on that. The only thing is that my sister does that for me. I did use AI because it was kind of cool and it was easy to do, but the one that you guys know me for with like the little moon on like my forehead and the Luna Affinity symbol, like the classic Luna Affinity, that's my sister. She actually drew that for me. But the avatar idea is kind of cute. I mean, hey, if you want to have a go at it, feel free. My sister is a graphic designer and digital designer. So usually I go to her for stuff like that. The AI generator was really easy though, because I was able to like describe what I wanted it to look like and then submit my own picture in there. And then they were able to create that for me. So that was pretty cool. But that's so awesome, Amy. Thank you so much for that. I probably will take you up on it. If you can show me like the styles that you're talking about, I might actually do that. Oh, thank you, James. I appreciate that. That's so nice of you to say. You know what's funny is that, as you say, magical, James, is literally like it's saved on my computer as magical tarot reading icon because, like, when I was generating it with AI, that's actually the one of the words that I used to describe it. So it's pretty funny. Thank you guys. That's so nice of you to say. I'm shuffling for you, Amy. I promise. I'm gonna get to you. Um, that's so cool. Thank you guys. I love that. I'm gonna start dressing like this too. It's got me like wanting to have like a whole new personality. I do dress like that sometimes, but not all the time. It's crazy you've been with me on this journey for so long. I know. It's been so long. Okay, that sounds good, Amy. Yeah, if you can show me like the style, that you're talking about, that would be cool to see. So Amy, tell me about your Asian Cambodian culture, because you said that it's hard for you because of how you were raised. Tell me more about that. So it's difficult in the sense of, say, words and metaphors used in body language. Oh, I see. What did he think of her identity with her culture and heritage? What did he think of her identity? So I think that he celebrated it, Amy. I think because I have the Ten of Pentacles, so I feel like he really cherished it, celebrated it. Objectively, he's like, this is incredible. I love how connected she is with her culture. I love like how immersed she is with it, because a lot of times, we can lose that. So objectively, he was like, this is so cool. Like, I'm learning so much. I love that it's making up who she is and in her essence. Like, I think he really thoroughly loved that part of you. And again, that's an objective point of view. I do feel like he wondered like how he fit into that picture, because a lot of times when you have different religions in someone or different cultures in someone, it's very hard to like figure out your place. It's hard to figure out like, oh, if I build a life with this person, what is that going to look like? Am I going to have to like convert? Am I going to have to like pick up some of these like traditions? Like, where is my traditions and where is my values and stuff like that? Like, where will that fit in? How are we going? Like, sometimes when you think about like when you have different traditions and different cultures and all that, and I know you know this, but it's really hard to understand like how they fit together. And if you start a life together, build a life together, how does that go? How do holidays go? If you have kids together, how do you raise them? That kind of thing. Obviously, I don't think he was thinking strongly that far into it, but I do think these are things that crossed his mind. And I think he was just trying to understand like how he fit into it. But I would say he loved like understanding it. He loved learning about it. I don't think that, how do I put this nicely? I don't think he was as interested in this as he should have been, especially because it's such an important, huge part of who you are. I think that he's kind of coming through as like, I should have made more of an effort to be more interested, because I feel like you were trying to share a part of yourself with him. And it's like, he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But I don't think that he really showed enough interest in it. Like, he should have been asking more questions. He should have been saying, tell me more about this. Like, I want to know more. Trying to like immerse himself in it more. I feel like there's a little bit of regret there. Um, but I think that he appreciated it. I think and he didn't show enough, that's facts. Yeah. So that's where I think he feels, I guess, that he's lacking, I suppose, is that he wasn't showing enough interest. Because you were basically trying to give a piece of yourself. Like you were trying to say, this is me, this is what's important to me, this is who I am. And if you're not interested, then you're not interested in me because this is who I am. And so I think there's like a couple different ways to look at this. One, he feels like he should have shown more interest. Two, he objectively really liked that about you. He liked that you were unique, different, you had your own strong identity, strong faith, etc. And lastly, he wondered like how that would affect the relationship moving forward. So there's a couple like layers to this, but overall though, I think that he liked that it made you who you were, and I think that there's a lot of good that was going to come from it in your relationship. And I think, I don't know, maybe if he had more time, this would have changed or this would have turned around. Maybe you would have felt more interest from him over time, but I think that it just like wasn't enough. He did at least like the Chinese good luck charm I gave him for his car during Lunar New Year's, and I believe he did keep it in the upper dashboard of his car because his mom said when they were cleaning out his car, they did see like a red tassel. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I mean, like I'm sure it was like super important to him. Maybe just he didn't express himself enough, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he should have expressed himself more or something with it. But I think internally in his heart, I think that he really liked this about you. I think he liked how strongly you were connected to it and how passionate you were about it and how immersed in your culture that you are. I mean, who can't find that beautiful? Like, who wouldn't find that attractive? So, yeah, but yeah, there's layers to it, Amy. I mean, I definitely feel like he would have liked a redo on that one. But yeah, well, I'm glad objectively he did like me for my culture. Yeah, for sure. And funny enough, as you say that, I read his birth chart a bit. This fool got an Aquarius moon sign. That would explain why I'd feel a distance. Oh my gosh. Why he doesn't really express much. Amy, that's so freaking true. But you're welcome, Amy. Yeah, I've dealt with some Aquariuses in my life, and well, my best friend is an Aquarius. So I think that it's definitely affected like who she is. It's definitely affected by her surrounding like placements, but I've had a lot of Aquariuses in my life. I've dated one. I've been friends with a couple of them, and they're interesting. They're very hard to like let in, and I think that other placements around it definitely are a factor. There's been some who are just like extremely distant, and it's like you feel this warmth from them, but it's very limited, and you're like trying to like get closer, and I don't know, Aquarius is like they're 1 foot out the door, it seems, at all times, which would make sense because, they're the 11th placement in the chart. So they're like one step from death, basically, in the life cycle of the zodiac. So it would make sense they don't always feel fully present. But again, I think that it definitely depends on like the surrounding placements, but considering it was an Aquarius moon. Oh, James is Aquarius moon and rising. You got a lot of air there, sir. But like how they're processing their emotions, like, because it starts with Aries and it ends with Pisces. And so Aries is supposed to be like the infant, the baby of the zodiac, and like you go all the way through all the signs, and it's supposed to represent the life cycle. And so once you get all the way to Pisces, it's like death. Pisces is death, basically. So if Aquarius is the step just before death, then they're like, the Aquariuses are in their hospital bed. They're like seeing their grandma and dad and mom trying to like tell them come to heaven or whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. They're like half in, half out Aquariuses, I feel. A lot of your besties are Aquariuses. I love Aquariuses, don't get me wrong. But they're not the easiest people either. Like, they can be very apathetic. Like, they can be like a take it or leave it kind of person. And sometimes you want someone to draw a line in the sand. Sometimes you want them to like fight for it and like take a stand. You really want someone to be that way. But I don't think Aquariuses are made for that. You call them an enigma. That makes so much sense because Elo was like that. He'd open up a lot, but I also feel a distance. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how they do that shit. I don't know how they do it. Gemini, Sun, Mercury, Aquarius, Moon, and Rising. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot of Aquarius, James. I think you're pretty grounded though in terms of like who you are. Trying to be serious at it. Yeah, I'm actually an Aquarius North node. So like my goal, I guess, in life is to become more progressive, more in service of other people. That's a tough one for me. Not to become progressive or in service of other people, but it's hard to leave the Leo side of my South node. But as I get older, it's like easier and easier, I think. The only thing I have in Aquarius is North Node. I look for depth in people. And so sometimes with Aquarius it's hard to get that unless you're looking at other placements around it. Fucking Eli. But I think my Jupiter in Cancer 6th house dominates. Ooh. Oh, that's right. You did say you're an Aquarius North Node. James, you have so much Aquarius in your chart. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you know what? I think Aquarius North Nodes, I think they're going to heal the world. I really do. Because any Aquarius North Node that I know, they're doing something in spiritual work, holistic health, wellness. I think that Aquarius North Nodes are honestly the healers. As long as they tap into that energy, I think we can heal the world. I really do. I don't know what a goal would be for me astrology wise. Amy, send me your birth chart. I'll tell you. Send me your birth chart, or your information. You can send it to me through Instagram. I'll look it up tonight. Do you have a lot of placements in Cancer, James? Aw, I appreciate that. That makes me happy to hear. Ooh, that's your wound right there. Chiron in Cancer, that's your wound. Your wound is, oh, in your 6th house. Fun. I think I had said that my wound is in Cancer as well. Yeah, my Chiron is in Cancer, James, just like you. So a Chiron in Cancer is basically your Chiron is your wound. It's your unhealable injury. And if you have a Chiron in Cancer, your wound is your family. That your parents did not give you proper care, love, and sense of security. Even in adulthood, an unhappy childhood can still be your open, unhealing injury. You'll compensate for this, for example, by creating your own big family, by constantly dealing with the past, or by deciding to never become parents in order to never cause pain to your children. I'm 89. We have a lot of similar placements, James. I'm 89. Makes sense you'd be in love with a Cancer. No, you did not just say that. That is so funny. You're like, my wound is in Cancer. Of course I fall for a Cancer. It hurt me. Okay, Amy, that sounds good. I'll let you know what I see. Scorpio and Pluto, same. I have a Capricorn and Saturn. I have a Scorpio and Pluto. I have an Aquarius North Node. I have a Chiron in Cancer, like you, James. Uranus, Neptune, Taurus. Uranus, Neptune. Wait, where did you say Uranus and Neptune are for you? Mars is in Aries. My Mars is in Cancer. That's so funny. We have a lot of similarities. All right, guys, I gotta get going, friends. But I would love to keep talking about this. This would be a fun segment to just like shoot the shit and talk about stuff like this. I would love that. Capricorn, Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn. I think me too. Yep, same. So we both have a sun in Gemini. We both have. Wait, now I lost my place. Maybe that's why we click, James. Yeah, so we both have a sun in Gemini. We both have a North Node in Aquarius. We both have a Scorpio in Pluto. We both have Cap, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And we both have a Chiron in Cancer. Like half of our birth chart, James, is identical. That's crazy. You sent it to me. Okay, let me take a look here. All right, your North Node is in Cancer. So, that means your South Node is in Cap. I would say that it's really important. Oh, that's why you got confused with Capricorn and Cancer, because one is your North Node and one is your South Node. That's why you were getting confused. Okay, so hold on. Now I'm getting myself confused. Okay, so your North Node is in Capricorn. I'm wrong. Your North Node is in Capricorn and your South Node is in Cancer. But that's why you get confused. So you're familiar at home is what it feels like to me. You're very familiar with being at home. Where is... Hold up a second. I'm so sorry. I wish that I had... Do you have like your houses? Do you mind taking a screenshot of those if you have them? I feel like I'm confusing myself. Oh no, I was right the first time. North Node, South Node. Okay, I was right the first time. I'm over here confusing the shit out of myself. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, North Node and Cancer. Okay. So I think you're on the right track, Amy. James, you're June 12th. Isn't that crazy how our chart, like half of our chart is exactly the same. All right, so with the North Node in Cancer, Amy, you are wanting to make sure that you are focusing on validating your own feelings, probably spending more time with family. You might notice, like in your younger years, you were like a really great student. I feel like you probably got really good grades in school, and work has always been like a priority for you. Very organized, good listener, do what you're told, that kind of thing. And basically, you're supposed to like pull away from being a people pleaser and doing everything that you feel you're supposed to be doing or what like people expect of you, and move more towards focusing on yourself, your own wants, your own needs, focusing on your family, noticing, validating your own feelings, nurturing and supporting other people as well as yourself. Let's see. Allowing yourself to accept help from other people, reflecting on your emotions and those of your loved ones that are around you. Your destination in life is to fulfill your soul's mission. Let's see. What's a North Node soul mission? To connect with people emotionally and embrace your own vulnerability. I think you chose a really great career for this, Amy. You'll live a more fulfilling life when you prioritize your needs instead of everyone else's around you. So being a people pleaser and setting boundaries is probably a really big thing for you in your life. I sent you my stuff and Patty's stuff. Okay. Let's see. Oh, dang it. And yeah, I had to be a grade A student or my ass would up. See, Amy, that's what I'm saying. Like when you have a South Node in Capricorn, it's like you feel like you have to do everything perfectly. And that's fine if that's how you were raised, but you've got to like put more focus on yourself. So like Capricorn energy is like CEO, military general, chief, president of the United States, like valedictorian, like straight A student, like all that shit. That's like Capricorn energy, and that's in your South Node, which means that you've spent a lot of your life or lifetimes being in a position of power or like leadership or a role model or whatever. And like your goal in this life is to prioritize yourself, your boundaries, your own needs. Because I think Capricorns can tend on the shadow side in a South Node aspect, can tend to push their feelings aside for the sake of whatever they feel their purpose is. They don't focus enough on themselves. They focus on what they need to do and get done. First pair is yours, second is hers. Like you're like, damn, real. So yeah. That's what you have to focus on. You got an elusive Aquarius too, James, with oh no, that's you. That's you. You're the elusive Aquarius. Okay. All right, hers. Seventh house Pisces. Seventh house Pisces. That's communication, or not communication. I'm sorry, partnerships. Neptune. Where's Neptune? Which house is her Neptune in, James? Do you know? I think I saw something on TikTok about how a certain house in a chart to relate to how your possible soulmate will be like or their background growing up. Yeah, so that is... Oh. Sometimes the seventh house can tell you or give you information depending on the placements that are in your seventh house. Let me see. Your seventh house. Where is your ascendant? Are you ascendant Leo? I like AstroSeek. Astro Cafe is like cool for like new people, but I don't know why I can't figure out their shit. Where's your ascendant? Yeah, okay. I'm looking at it right. Your ascendant is Leo. All right, so Leo's house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your seventh house, Aquarius. You have Uranus in here. You're gonna have a very eccentric partner, I think. Amy, very eccentric and different. This person's gonna be like quirky. They're gonna have their own personality. They're not gonna be like cookie cutter or anything like that. They're like an individual, they're rebellious, they're eccentric, they're probably really, really smart. Your partnership is symbolizing by Uranus and Aquarius, so that's kind of crazy. You said Neptune's in her fifth. So she has the energy of like her life partner. It would be out of her fifth house because her seventh house is in Pisces, so that's partnerships. And then her seventh house, or I'm sorry, her Neptune is in her fifth house. So, fifth house, it talks about places of entertainment, concerts, plays, shows, sporting events, recreational activities, hobbies through your children if you have children already, and or while doing something fun or enjoyable. So this is going to be the energy that's harnessed through her connection with you as like her life partner. Things that she's going to want to do. She's going to want to have fun. So I don't know if that helps at all, but maybe just like adding more fun elements into your connection would probably be really helpful according to your birth chart. You also have like recreational activities and hobbies. So you guys feel closer together when you're doing these kinds of things. She feels stronger to you. You're definitely getting the weirdos, girl. You're getting the weirdos. I don't know what to say. You also have Aquarius ruling the seventh house. Seven. And I already told you, Amy, you're going to meet this person, or you should meet this person at places of contract, places that have to do with contracts, like wedding, banks, networking, business partnerships, coworkers, courthouse, where like there's legal matters, litigation, house or property purchase, museums, mutual contacts that you have in common, and formal environment among people in busy places. So formality and contractual places that you would go to like have contracts made or signed, notarized. Ooh, that's another good example. Let me add notaries in there. But yeah, this person is very eccentric. You also have Neptune in there. So more about the connection is spiritual transcendence, collective consciousness, creative pursuits, divine potential in this person. I think this person is going to bring out a lot of questions in you, a lot of curiosity. You guys will probably have like spirituality in common as well. So it's very possible you guys will. I think this person's going to actually love your culture. And it's funny you asked that question tonight. They're going to love it. They're either going to identify with it themselves, or they're just going to be very much like immersed in your culture and traditions. There's a pattern here, clearly. Because to what I said about the TikTok thing, it's also the 10th house. 10th house. 10th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th house Taurus. Saturn is here. I'm not so sure about the 10th house. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I know about the 7th house. The 10th house is ruled by career, your father figure, and public image. So I'm not sure about the 10th house. I'm still new to a lot of this myself. So James, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I think hobbies, recreational activities, things like that are going to bring you guys together. So the more things that you can do like that, the better it's going to be for your relationship according to your birth chart. Happy to know my future person will love me for all of me. Yeah, totally. All right, guys, I am going to go ahead and sign off. I've got to get going. But I'll check out that TikTok and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.